My name is Perez. I am currently serving as a captain in the 3rd Judicial District. I currently work under the direction of Chief Marcus Durham and Major Anthony Rodriguez. And I've been working for the courts over 20 years.
I'm Julie Cioffi. I work in the 3rd Judicial District and have for 16 years. I started in the academy. I was in Cohoes, which is no longer an academy, in 2008, and then have been in Rensselaer Family Court for the remaining 12 years, where I currently am today.
I started out in Bronx Criminal Court. I served as an officer there. I was in charge of perimeter and working what we call the magnetometer post. Then I promoted to sergeant and I worked for the Department of Public Safety. I was then promoted to lieutenant in that same office, and then I took the opportunity to take a position here as a captain. So I've been here for about 7 months.
Upstate, it's a little bit different. There's not just a magnetometer post. It's an entire building, so it is part of our rotation, but we're not just there all of time until you go somewhere else.
Well, in the city, we're put there as a first post because that's the first line of defense, and that's really where you start to learn the direction of your job. Then once you get into the court part, you already have all those security on-the-job trainings that you can effectuate while you're in the courtroom.
I know for my building and family court, we thrive on chaos.
That's the courts, right?
It could be. I could only speak for where I am, but the more chaotic, the more of a cohesive unit we become, and the more we get done.
I'm more on the administrative side right now, so it isn't as chaotic, but there is a lot more responsibility in the Upstate District than there is in the city for the officers. Up here, it's more like a team building. In the city, I was supervised. I was told, go do this, go handle this. And it was great because I had great supervision. In the city, you don't necessarily have to work with a team. You just have to get the job done. And up here, you need that team because you need someone to cover for you. There isn't always going to be a supervisor that will say, hey, can you go cover for Cioffi someplace? Cioffi has to figure out how she's going to get her post filled while she's got to go take care of something else. I think a lot of the challenges for me have diminished when I first came on. Just being a woman in uniform was a huge challenge. As time has passed, that has changed a lot. I think the job needs women the way that the world is changing now because we bring an essence of compassion and nurturing to the job that the communities that we're working in need now.
I also agree that women add compassion. And I try to add compassion to it, sometimes through humor, sometimes just treating them like they're human beings, and I see you. I think that that's where women definitely come in and help this job.
When I first started as an officer in uniform, if I was too nice to someone coming into a building, it was like, oh, come on, we have a job to do, you're not their mother. Now they will look for us as female officers to come and help because we just have a different approach to different situations. And we need that now. In addition to regular officer duties that we have in facilities, we also participate in a lot of community events. So up here, the courthouses where they're located, there are schools around the courthouses. You're outside, you really start to get to know the people that are living in the neighborhood. They come by with the kids. It's great when the kids wave to you and they're like, good morning, officer. It makes you feel good about your job. And having that opportunity to immerse ourselves in the community like that we can not hold the person's hand, but really be able to guide them, encourage them, let them see that there are other things to do. I feel like it gives the community more of an option of not participating in what we call a revolving door. They can, they get arrested on a summons when they're 16, and then they come back and they're arrested again on 18. And it gives us that opportunity to prevent things like that from happening because they get to know us.
In family court, we deal a lot with children, with kids, PINs, persons in need of supervision, and juvenile delinquents. And I've had multiple occasions of these kids that come in and they're in a bad way. And a couple years later, I'll see them either back in court as adults, or I'll see them out in the community, and they will come to me and they will say, "Officer, guess what? And then fill in the blank. I graduated from school, or I did this." I'm like, "I'm really proud of you." And they're like, "You were always nice to me. Thank you." And so that
makes the job worth it.
It does make it worth it. And it's happened to me on multiple occasions. And it's rewarding. It's nice to see that, and that in some small way I've made an impact, that they want to share that with me. I love my crew at Family Court. We have each other's backs. I'm never, ever concerned that if something happens that they'll come and assist me. I don't have a doubt about that. We rely on each other. We have each other's lives in our hands on a daily basis. And that forms a bond that I think is visible to people in the court system, as well as the court users that come in. They can see that we're a tight unit.
Yeah, we get to stay with each other. We go to the academy, go to our commands. Sometimes we have our cadet mates with us. Sometimes we go to a new building, but they've already been through what we've been through, and you build that form. With other law enforcement agencies, you may bypass each other. You kind of run into each other at functions. But we had to spend every day with each other. It's like getting paid to be in college. We're learning, we're doing our community service. It's amazing.
So I think my advice to people would be to, if this is something that you're interested in, it is I think the best position in law enforcement you can have.
Absolutely.
But take the opportunities. There's a ton of opportunities out there, and take them. I've worked a lot of very high profile cases and have seen a lot of very cool things, and met a lot of great people doing that. So I would say take advantage of the opportunities that you're given, and stay true to who you are. Really know who you are and stay true to that person.
Yeah, if the exam is coming out, even if you're unsure, take the exam. It's better to have that opportunity open. You never know where you're going to be in at that point of your life when they call you. You can always say no, you don't want the job. But if you don't take the exam and put yourself on the list, there's no opportunity there for you to say yes to.